Welcome to the deep dive. So, you were asking about gut health, right? And that connection to, well, everything else.
Yeah, the whole gut-brain thing.
Exactly. So, we're going to unpack Dr. Gundry's ideas on this gut-brain paradox from his book.
Hmm.
Our mission here is really to pull out the key bits, the actionable stuff from his program for gut health, get the useful info without getting totally lost in the weeds.
Right, because it is a pretty involved program. We're talking, what, 8 months or more? Lots of diet changes, lifestyle
Yeah,
things.
it's comprehensive, not just a minor tweak here and there.
Definitely a significant shift in thinking about food and how our bodies work over time.
Okay, so where should we start? How about when you eat? That seems pretty fundamental.
Good point. He recommends a 7-hour feeding window,
7 hours, okay.
ideally finishing up by 6 or maybe 7 p.m.
And is that super strict?
Well, he does mention some flexibility on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And even, interestingly, maybe doing OMAD 1 meal a day in the winter.
Uh-huh.
And if you do get hungry outside that window, apparently a few nuts are allowed.
So not total deprivation.
Seems like it's more about strategic timing.
Yeah.
The idea, linking back to the gut-brain thing, is that this time-restricted eating helps your gut bacteria and how your body uses energy.
Right. And the nuts suggest it's not about being absolutely rigid.
Exactly. And then there are the supplements. That's another big piece.
Okay, supplements. What's on the list?
He talks about MCT oil, 1 tablespoon, 3 times a day,
Wow. Okay.
and ketone esters, also apple cider vinegar and broad-spectrum fibers.
So the goal there is what? Feeding the good gut bacteria, supporting the gut lining.
Pretty much. Nourishing the gut, encouraging the beneficial microbes, and related to that are polyphenols.
Polyphenols, right? Those plant compounds.
Yeah, good stuff, like antioxidants, potentially helping the gut environment. Think teas, mints, cloves,
Cocoa powder.
cocoa powder, star anise. Yeah, even simple things like using sea salt is specifically mentioned.
Yeah. Okay, so that's some of the in stuff. What about the out list? This is where the lectins come in.
That's the big one, lectins. For
Mhm.
anyone maybe not familiar, they're proteins in lots of foods. Gundry argues they can cause issues for some people's gut health.
And therefore potentially overall health through that gut connection.
Exactly. And the avoid list is pretty extensive.
Lay it on us.
Okay, so nightshade vegetables, that's things like potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, goji berries.
Wow, okay. Staples for many people.
Definitely. Also brown rice, beans and lentils, unless pressure cooked, grains, pseudograins like quinoa, amaranth, buckwheat, peanuts, cashews, chia seeds too.
That's a lot to cut out.
It really is a major shift. And the thinking, connecting back to that gut-brain axis, is that reducing these potential irritants might lessen inflammation that could affect, other body systems.
Any others on the avoid list?
Yep. Almonds and almond flour, surprisingly. White mushrooms, ginger, pineapple, peaches, white onions, lemons, bananas, nutmeg, cinnamon.
Whoa, bananas, lemons.
Yeah. Also commercial poultry, vanilla bean, and specifically corn and spinach because of other compounds, plus soybeans.
Okay, so that's the avoidance strategy. What should we be eating then?
Right, the yes list. Fermented foods are big kimchi, sheep cheese,
Sheep cheese specifically, not cow.
not cow apparently. Cruciferous veggies, the allium family, garlic, onions, that sort of thing. Lots of fiber-rich foods, tubers, root vegetables.
Like rutabagas, parsnips.
Yes, radishes, radicchio, endive, okra, artichokes. Even pressure-cooked beans and legumes make the yes list. Basil seeds, flax seeds, psyllium.
Interesting about the pressure-cooked beans, given they were on the avoid list otherwise.
Shows preparation matters, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Also resistant starches, yams, taro root, sorghum, millets, even properly cooked and cooled rice. Cassava too.
So it's nuanced.
Very. Raw carrots, pistachios, extra virgin olive oil, strawberries, local in-season organic fruit but in moderation. Grapefruit, shellfish like mussels, oysters, shrimp for phospholipids.
Okay.
Egg yolks are good. And as we said, sheep cheese, gelatin too.
So a wide variety, but very specific choices. And what else needs to go besides the lectin-heavy foods?
Well, artificial sweeteners are out, except for allulose apparently. Cow dairy, as mentioned. Titanium dioxide.
Titanium dioxide, where do you find that?
Often in processed foods, some supplements, medications as a whitener. Also limiting red meat unless it's cured or fermented. Focusing more on organic chicken, small fish like sardines.
And a big no too.
Absolutely no processed foods, sweets, sugar, glyphosate, or emulsifiers. Those are definite no-goes.
Makes sense. Any other little tips?
Yeah. For hydration, he suggests adding balsamic vinegar to sparkling water.
Interesting flavor combo.
And vitamin D is emphasized. A high dose, actually, 20,000 IUs daily, aiming for a pretty high blood level of 100 to 150 ng/L.
That's quite high. People should definitely check with their doctor on that one.
Absolutely. Always consult a healthcare professional for supplement dosages.
Okay, this is a lot to remember. Is there an easier way to track the yes and no foods?
There is. Dr. Gundry's website apparently has downloadable yes-no food lists. That could be really helpful.
Good resource. And just to reiterate, this isn't a weekend cleanse.
Yeah, definitely not. It's positioned as an 8+ month program, and he often recommends repeat gut testing to see how things are changing internally.
So wrapping this up, the core idea is really focusing intensely on gut health.
Yeah, by cutting out those specific lectins and processed items and actively bringing in beneficial foods, fibers, and supplements.
As you listen to all this, you might be having some aha moments about your own diet and how you feel.
Definitely. Which leads to a provocative thought, maybe. Looking at your own plate, which of these changes would be the biggest hurdle for you?
And flipping that, what benefits might you imagine seeing if you really dialed in on your gut microbiome health over, say, the next 8 months?
Something to chew on for sure.